Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all on behalf of Tungal College, and this is Ritesh Zavarkar. And good morning to all the aspiring doctors who have been attending the class today. In this chilled weather, the rainy seasons which have been running up, we are learning a very important chapter, which is human health and diseases. Recall, students, from past many days, we are learning up in this chapter a special concept called as immunity. Immunity, which is nothing but body's defense system. In this body's defense system, we have seen that the entire defense system of human being has been classified into two parts: innate immunity, which comes right from the birth, which is having two types in that: first line of defense and second line of defense. If suppose this first and second line of defense gets a failed, then automatically our body will activate third line of defense. And regarding that, we are learning from past particular one class onwards. That is yesterday onwards, we are learning up about those things. This particular third line of defense which is there is been actually preparing some specialized cells in the lymphoidal organs. Primary lymphoid organs are those which are producing and maturing these specialized cells called as T cells and B cells respectively. The name of B cell came because those lymphocytes get matured in bone marrow. In the birds, it is equivalent to bursa fabricans. While T cells are those who got produced in bone marrow, but is getting matured in the thymus. There is a problem in the case of human being. All the T cells are to be prepared before 14 years of age group only because thymus undergoes regressing. It will not survive after that particular term. Hence, all the T cells required for our entire life are being prepared and stored in our secondary lymphoid organs. But B cells, there is no problem because there are large amount of bone marrow which will survive till our death. Hence, continuous B cells productions will go on taking place. But anytime T and B cells are prepared, they are stored in secondary lymphoid organ, whose list we have mentioned yesterday. Secondary lymphoid organ does not give an area for storage of B and T cell, but also it is the same area where the pathogens are being represented. Pathogens are being shown by our body's defense system so that T cell can identify the pathogen and will activate the third line of defense to kill the pathogens. Yesterday, we have seen that the B cells are actually of two different types. B cells are actually of two different types. One is plasma B cell, whose job is to continuously go on producing antibodies, while another is memory B cells. If the job is accomplished, job of antibodies, whatever are produced, if they have went and they have killed the pathogens, neutralized the pathogens, then some of the plasma B cells are converted to memory B cells so that they can be used in the future if the same pathogen attacks again to the same individual. On the other line, T cells which are there were of four different types. The main particular T cell is called helper T cell. The job of helper T cell is he gets the information how the pathogen looks like. Not the entire pathogen, but a part of the pathogen we call antigen. So what is antigen? Antigens are the surface proteins, otherwise polysaccharides of a pathogen, which can activate the immunity. Okay, the antigens will activate the immunity. So these antigens will now be presented to the T helper cell first. The T helper cell will identify this antigen and now will say, okay, I understood now how the pathogen looks like. One part of a pathogen, how it looks, I have understood. Now this information, he gives it to the cytotoxic T cells, which is a second type of T cell, and also will share this information to the plasma B cells. Cytotoxic T cells go on increasing in number. Same type of T cells are produced in large quantity, but suppressor T cell says, wait, everyone don't make up cytotoxic T cell because in the future also we require T cell because we are having a limited reserve of T cell because there is no thymus. So suppressor T cell checks that there should be a less number of cytotoxic T cell prepared every time. Cytotoxic T cells now will know how to identify the antigen because he's having on the surface some proteins which are there, which will go and attach to the antigen, and antigens are always on the pathogen. The time it goes and attaches, it kills the pathogen. You know very well, cytotoxic T cells will make up cell-mediated immunity because he himself will go and kill the pathogen. During this time, he will kill either a cell which is having inside the pathogen, we call intracellular pathogen. Otherwise, he will kill cancer cell if it is developed for treating the cancer. Otherwise, he will avoid any grafts which are added up in the body. Means anytime any organ transplantation or tissue transplantation is done, against that cytotoxic T cells are activated, which will go and kill. So organ transplantation is a challenging task only because the body's defense system, cytotoxic T cell, will kill it. But on the other line, the T helper cells have activated plasma B cells also. Plasma B cells have understood how the pathogen looks now. Now he will prepare antibodies. Antibodies, yesterday we have been also learned it. Antibodies will have paratope which will fix into the epitope of the antigen. You know these connections. So large number of antibodies are produced. 2000 antibody molecules per B cell per second is produced. This plasma B cell will have a short lifespan, 4 to 5 days. Within that time, trillions of antibodies per B cells are produced. These antibodies now will circulate into the blood, and any pathogen or its antigen or toxin is circulating in the body fluids, either blood, either lymph. Those circulating pathogens or antigens are neutralized or killed by the antibodies. Since body fluids are called humor, hence B cells will make up humoral mediated immune response, while cytotoxic T cells have made cell mediated immune response. Whenever the pathogens are being killed, then B cells also will develop into memory B cell, and their T cells also will become memory T cell, so that in the next exposure to the pathogen, they will go and kill the pathogen. This is what yesterday's class we have been learned, and I have given you a gross idea once again the same. And this is really required because today I'm going to show you how really this process happens. So I welcome you all on this particular concept, how our adaptive immunity works. With a nice particular photographic methods, I will show you how really our body will identify a pathogen. Even though so many different types of pathogens are been attacking the human body, but how specifically our third line of defense will identify it, kills it, and keeps the memory, so that next time it will attack very much faster. And how the vaccine works is everything we are going to learn in our today's particular session. Before starting the class, as every time we do it up, is motivation. Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. If you have taken a step that at any cost, I'm going to make up my MBBS seat selection, then do not worry regarding the failures which are coming on your way. Failures will make you more stronger. And if you're determined to get that seat, then surely go on working it continuously. These all the small failures will make you so harder, so determined that you will surely get up a very big seat selections. So say always, the small mistakes, the small failures has to never make me disturb. I know what I want to mirror. So I will consistently work up, more efforts I will add so that I'm going to crack this NEET selection. With this motivation of the day, let's begin our today's class, which I am going to teach you working of adaptive immunity. How our adaptive immunity will identify an antigen of the pathogen. I make you understand once again what is an antigen. Antigens are certain proteins or polysaccharides present on the pathogen. Okay. Otherwise, it may be certain toxins released by the pathogen. These are called antigens. Antigens are having some unique design on the surface. Those designs are called epitopes. The unique designs on antigen by which we identify it is unique is called epitope. Antibodies will always have variable arm, which I said paratope. So paratope is complementary to the epitope. Complementary means like lock and key, how they just combine up in complementary way. So paratope is on antibodies, so that antibody with paratope will bind to the epitope of antigen. Antigen either is free or either is in combination with pathogen. So automatically pathogen killing will happen. Otherwise, antigen killing will happen. If antigen is killed, automatically problems are resolved. Getting? So let's see how this working is being done now. To understand this phenomena, a very important concept you have to remember, students, which is called major histocompatibility complex. We call in short form MHC. This is a very specialized particular chemical, students. What is MHC? These are group of certain proteins. I'm not speaking of antigen, student. I'm speaking of a special chemical called MHC. These are group of proteins which are found on the surface of the cells. Which cells? Our body cells. These are specialized proteins which are present on the surface of our body cells that will help our immune system to recognize which is the foreign substance, who is the pathogen, who is the antigen. This will make it to understand. Hope you are getting this. See, a pathogen whenever enters in our body, which tissue, which cell of the body it will attack, we never know it. But whichever cell has got attacked by the pathogen, that cell will produce a protein called major histocompatibility complex. Which cell will produce this? The cell which has got attacked by the pathogen, that cell will produce the major histocompatibility complex. What happens? If the cell which is infected, if produces major histocompatibility complex, looking at that MHC molecule, our immune system will identify, okay, if there is a MHC, it means that cell might be infected with the pathogen. So I have to go there, I have to identify and kill it. Because as we speak to our parents, what we are suffering with the help of certain language, sound language. Similarly, cells will communicate with the other cells with the help of chemical representation. Some chemicals, they will take it on the surface of their cell. You know, every cell will have cell membrane, and cell membrane will have intrinsic protein and extrinsic protein. We call integral and peripheral membrane proteins. So MHC molecule will work like one of the type of peripheral membrane proteins itself. On this MHC molecule, the antigens will be loaded. Means, if suppose you are saying that a protein is a structure which is present like a MHC, which I'm saying, then on the surface it will have a small piece of that pathogen which is called antigen. Any piece of the pathogen is called as antigen. So MHC molecule will have antigen. Looking at the MHC, our immune cells will come. And when they will come, the MHC says, see, on my surface one chemical I have kept it. This is called antigen. And this is the structure present on that pathogen. So, sir, immune cell, if you want to know that how the pathogen looks like, I have brought a small piece on my surface, how the pathogen is having it. So looking at that small piece called antigen, our immune cell will identify, okay, so whoever is going to have like this structure on the surface, I have to identify that he only is the main pathogen. So like this, he will identify them. Very beautifully, the process will be performed. This MHC molecule is present in all the vertebrate students, every vertebrate. In case of human being, the MHC molecules are called HLA. In a human being, MHC molecules are called HLA. Stands for human leukocytic antigen. What it stands for? Human leukocytic antigens. So what is HLA? HLA is a type of MHC molecule in human beings. Only we have given a separate name for that. So MHC molecule itself is HLA. Got it? No problems? Sure. How many different types of MHC molecules are there in our body? There are majorly two types of MHC molecule students. One is called MHC1 complex and another is called MHC2 complex. Our all the body cells which are having nucleus, all the body cells which are nucleated, means except RBC. So every nucleated cell of our body will have on the surface MHC1 complex. Every cell. But MHC2 complexes which are there, these proteins are present only on specialized cells called antigen presenting cells. They can be dendritic cell, macrophages, these are a type of WBCs, and one B cell also. So who will have MHC2 complexes on the surface? Dendritic cells, macrophages, and B cells. Remember one thing, students, dendritic cell, macrophages, and B cells are having MHC2, but they will also have MHC1 complex. Because earlier only I said MHC1 is present in all the body cells. So also these cells will have MHC1. But along with MHC1, these three cells will have MHC2 structure also on the surface. Okay, I'm going very slow. I understand each and every point very clearly. Take a snapshot so that reference becomes easier for you. Done? Shall I move further? Difference between these MHC molecules. As I've already said, MHC1 is present in almost all the nucleated body cells. Means it is absent in human RBC or mammalian RBC. These MHC1 molecules which are there will bind to the endogenous antigen. Means those antigens which are inside the cell. Means any cell which has got attacked by the pathogen, that pathogen might have entered inside the cell. Then inside the cell, whatever antigens are there, those antigens are being shown by MHC1 molecule. The time this particular molecule is being shown by that cell, then suddenly our T cell, which T cell? Helper T cell, cytotoxic T cell. These T cells will identify that antigen with the help of another protein called CD8. Now, what this all means by? Just to give a simple understanding, I will just draw it and show you so that some clarity you will be getting. Imagine if suppose this is a cell which has got infected. So I will say this is the host cell. Host cell means a cell which has got infected. So infected cell. So imagine certain pathogens are being there inside this particular cell. Some pathogens. So these are nothing but pathogens. So what this particular cell will do, students? This cell will say that I will prepare on my surface some specialized particular structure which is called MHC1 complex. And what he does is on this MHC1 complex, he will hold a small piece of that pathogen, and that small piece of that pathogen which is showing on the surface is called antigen. Now this infected cell is showing the MHC1 having antigens on the surface. The time they will be showing up about this, our T cells will come at that area. The T cells will have certain receptors. With that receptors, he will cling it to that antigens. The time it clings up to that particular antigens, automatically our T cell will produce a clamp. Clamp means a support by which it will hold the major histocompatibility complex with the T cell so that this association should not get separated. Otherwise there is a chance that due to our body is moving, liquid is moving in our body, so they may get separated. So they will attach them firmly with the help of this structure called as cluster determinant 8. It is a type of protein by which it will hold the major histocompatibility complex. While this is the receptor of T cell by which it will attach to the antigen. So whichever cells are having MHC1, they are identified by T cell with the help of CD8 protein on the surface. Since the pathogen is inside, I have called endogenous antigens are there, which are carried by the major histocompatibility complex on the surface. A single infected cell will have about more than 1 lakh such MHC molecules. More than 1 lakh MHC1 molecules will be there. So that large number of T cells can identify them within a shorter period of time. So that killing the pathogen should become instantly. Hope you have got the understanding what I'm trying to say. This is everything how the mechanism of action looks like. Now suppose if this particular cell instead of that is called antigen presenting cell. If instead of host cell, if it is a specialized cell called antigen presenting cell, which may be dendritic cell or a macrophage or a B cell, then these cells have directly shown on the surface, they will directly show on the surface their own MHC molecules, and they will show direct pathogen on the surface now. Direct antigen they will be showing it, because maybe the pathogen or that substance was moving in the blood. So directly they took that and they are showing on the surface with the help of MHC molecule. Then automatically looking at that, our T cells will come. Same process, same process. T cell will come. It will attach with its own receptor. And during this time, it will give a clamp to attach. This particular clamp which is there is called cluster determinant 4, by which this association is perfect. If cluster determinant 4 is used, means surely this cell is any type of antigen presenting cell. But if it is a normal cells, then they will have MHC. So for that cluster determinant 8 is required. Means every duty is performed by a separate type of T cell only. That is the mechanism. Nothing more difference. Cluster determinant is a type of protein. CD8 and CD4 just refers to whether it is made up of 4 amino acids or whether a combination of 4 peptides, or is it a combination of 8 peptides. Peptide means chain of amino acids. Okay, that is the only difference. And what is the second difference? CD4 can identify MHC2 complexes, while CD8 will identify MHC1 complexes. That is the major difference. But have you understood this story, students? How these chemicals are able to identify the process? Okay, take the snapshot. Take this snapshot. Look up, this is the design of MHC1 molecule as well as MHC2 molecule. This is MHC1 and this is MHC2. So whatever our cell is there, this is our cell, this is our cell. On the cell membrane, can you see this is a cell membrane? On the cell membrane, MHC molecule is presented. This is the region where the antigen will be kept. Can you see here, students? This is the cleft where the antigen will be presented. So that looking at this antigen, our T cells can identify them. And these designs which are there now, this design, can you see this? This is that design. Here that CD8 will attach. Similarly in class 2 MHC, here CD4 is going to attach. Why they are called MHC1, MHC2? That is one trans membrane, one integral protein clamp is there for him, while he will have 2 integral membrane clamps. So they have said 1 it should be called and this should be called as 2, because based on how many membrane proteins are embedded into the cell membrane. But second difference also I said, there MHC1 is present on all the body cells, nucleated body cells, while MHC2 are only on APCs. And so other differences, everything I have already explained it. Shall let's move further. Make the process more simple. Don't enter more detail inside, because you're not learning MBBS, but you are understanding the concept, how really our adaptive immunity is going to work out. Without MHC molecules, you will never understand how the story is going to lead up. I have already shown you up about this by drawing how the story leads up. Correct? If any cell has got infected, he will break that pathogen into pieces and each piece is called antigen. He will represent on MHC molecule. Looking at that MHC molecule, T cell will come and identify it. And this is how they are going to make the process. Correct? Same story, simple make it. So what is major histocompatibility complex, students? Now these are specialized proteins presented by our body cells so that they can activate immune cells, immunity cells, they can activate it. These are called MHC molecules. That is the main take you need to have it. Can I move further? Look up, this is the same story. Whatever I drawn now, it is the same story. Can you see the left hand side particular part? Look at a pathogen is coming up. Can you see this? So it has added inside endogenous pathogen, and now the cells, some of the machinery will break them into small pieces. Can you see, student? Each piece is having a unique design. First was a square, this is hexagon, this is circular, just for showing purpose. They can be triangle, any different shapes it may be. The time these shapes are there, they will enter in endoplasmic reticulum. This design which is there, na student, this is endoplasmic reticulum. You know, endoplasmic reticulum is known is having ribosomes, so surely proteins are prepared. Looking at these small pieces which has been entered, which are nothing but antigen, the endoplasmic reticulum now will prepare a major histocompatibility complex. If it is not an antigen presenting cell, he will prepare MHC class 1. But if this cell is an antigen presenting cell, then he will prepare which? MHC class 2 he will prepare. Now see, this MHC molecule is having a loaded antigen on the surface. Can you see this? Now they are being carried and being shown on the surface of the cell. If this cell is an antigen presenting cell, then he will show MHC class 2. If this cell is a normal body cell which is infected, then he is going to show MHC1 of the pathogen. Now, every cell will have many MHC molecules. I have already said more than 1 lakh MHC molecule. Now, please look up here, student. Every MHC molecule will have a different antigen on the surface because the pathogen, when it is broken, can you see this design, students? When a pathogen is broken, it was broken in such a way that different designs have been separated from that pathogen. Different design. Each design is called antigen. So all the antigens are shown on the surface. Depending upon this different antigen, a particular T cell will identify any one antigen among them, which he feels is present in maximum quantity on the pathogen, and by identifying this T cell will say, okay, I understood how the pathogen looks up. This is one such small piece by which I will identify how the pathogen looks. I will go and kill the pathogen. You don't worry, your job is over. He will sell this, he says this information to the cell or this antigen presenting cell. So what is the function of MHC? To expose on its surface the antigens. Antigens are certain structures of the pathogen only. So different structures of the pathogens are shown on the surface so that our T cells can recognize it and immunity is triggered. So that pathogen definitely will die because he's very specific. Now, specifically, if he identifies this particular antigen, then T cells will say that whoever is having this type of shape, go and kill them if they are present in the body. So during that movement time, if any other pathogen is there who is not having this shape, he will say them just move away because I am in search of the pathogen who is having this shape on the surface. That's all. Means suppose our body has got first infected with a Streptococcus pneumoniae pathogen and body has prepared, shown the antigen of the Streptococcus. Then T cells is moving to search up where this antigen is present because that is in the Streptococcus. During that time, if a typhoid bacteria meets up in between, then this cell will say, just move away. You are not the person for whom I am searching. Means we know that typhoid bacteria is also dangerous now, but no, this cell has said first go and kill that Streptococcus. See, he looks like this. So in between any other pathogen comes, he will not disturb him or he will not going to attack him. For that, separate T cell has to get activated. So for every pathogen, the cell has to give a unique MHC molecule presenting the antigen, and specifically army is prepared to kill only that. Got it, students? Have you got what is the story running behind how uniquely identification is done? Is MHC molecule concept very clear, students? Everyone, is MHC molecule concept very clear to you people? See, whatever I'm taking the class today, it's purely NEET examination oriented. Some part in between is there in the NCERT also. But NCERT is a coded form. It has not given everything clearly. So we are decoding to understand it to the proper area. So as we speak in language with certain sound, they will make this understanding with the help of MHC molecule. Okay, Manjunath is having a question, sir, where they are attached to endoplasmic reticulum. MHC molecule, where they are attached. MHC molecules ready-madely are not there. The time the pathogens are being taken and their antigens are there, endoplasmic reticulum now will prepare MHC. So whenever pathogen is there in the cell, then only the cell will prepare MHC. And then only MHC will be presented on the surface of the cell. So it is not always available, students. MHC is not always available. It is made available only when pathogen is there. Got it, Manjunath? Don't worry up about all that TAP and other. Okay, that's a tapsin protein which is there. It is just a setup. Don't worry on that all. You just look up towards what I'm trying to say it. Done? Sure. Okay, there is another question which is asked by one of your friend Pooja. Sir, is this MHC molecules occur in small span of time or not? Okay, I will make you now this concept very clearly. Remember, students, whenever a pathogen will attack a person's body, during that time, first line and second line of defense only will take up a maximum charge to kill the pathogen. Usually, pathogen will not enter only because first line of defense is there. 95% of the time he is working. But if it fails and the pathogen has entered in the tissues of our body, then only second line of defense will come. If a person gets certain symptoms like fever, cold, cough, itching, rashes, inflammation, different types of symptoms, then you should understand that pathogen has entered inside the tissues. Many of the time we will not get symptoms only. Pathogen has been already been thrown away, means first line of defense was working the best. But if a person gets the symptoms, then only you understand first line of defense has been evaded, means escaped by the pathogen, and now it is in the body, so second line of defense is activated. Now what? The time symptoms will come, students, almost for 2 to 3 days, second line of defense only will be acting to try to kill the pathogen. How many days? 2 to 3 days. From the day of symptoms a person gets up, 2 to 3 days, second line of defense only is trying hard, which is that cellular barrier, cytokine barrier. They are trying hard to kill the pathogen. But if suppose within the 2 to 3 days, if the second line of defense is unable to kill the pathogen, then antigen presenting cell or the cell which is infected now will prepare MHC molecules, because they say we are helpless, we tried maximum but we are unable to kill them. So now I want to prepare MHC molecule because we said that we can't kill it. So they will open the MHC molecule, they show a part of the pathogen called antigen on the MHC molecule. Now the T cell will recognize it. Once it recognizes, fourth or fifth day is the death of the pathogen, 100%. Once particular third line of defense is activated, it's an army, and army knows day and night to work to kill the pathogen, and specifically. So it will occur in a large quantity instantly on next day of the second line of defense says, I'm impossible, I cannot kill it. Are you understanding it? Hence, you have seen that whenever you people also has suffered with certain symptoms, cold, cough, etc., You have never suffered with this for more than 5 to 7 days. Automatically you get up treated. The reason is third line of defense has got activated. It will definitely kill the pathogen. So also it is happening in coronavirus now. Many of them are able to survive. The reason is after 5 days, automatically the symptoms are stopped in many people because the third line of defense is activated, which is killing all the coronaviruses. Hence, they are able to survive. But in the people's body where these MHC molecules are not represented, maybe they are having the lesser immunity part, means MHC molecules are not shown by their body cells, then how the third line will activate? If the third line is not activating, then virus will multiply and will kill the person. So it is said immunity power should be more. What is immunity power? Ability of our body cells to show the third line of defense. See, sir, how the virus looks. Means antigen of that virus looks. If it is shown, then khatam. So what are we doing with vaccine, students? You know, what are we doing with vaccines? With vaccines, we are adding ready-made antigen of that virus. If ready-made antigen is added, then it will trigger the T cells to identify that and instant immunity will develop. So vaccines are ready-made antigens we are adding. Like in the diagram you can see, left-hand side antigen is broken down into square, hexagon, circular, triangle, star, different shape. This is to show purpose, but practically they will be different shapes now. So what they will do in vaccine is among these all the shapes, any one shape they will add up into the body. This is called vaccine. Vaccine is a antigen of a pathogen. They will add it so that suddenly MHC molecules will show that and automatically immunity is triggered. So we give the training to the body how the pathogen looks in one way. Have you got it, Pooja? RER, whatever endoplasmic reticulum it is, it's RER because MHC molecule are the proteins now. MHC molecules are proteins. So proteins means rough endoplasmic reticulum only. Okay? Sure. Now, keep a concentration in the class properly. T cells. I am taken up in front of you a T cell. Which is this T cell? This T cell is a helper T cell, students. Which is this T cell? It is a helper T cell, which yesterday I shown TH cells, T helper cell. Every T helper cell which has been there is present in the secondary lymphoid organ. And helper T cell is having some specialized proteins on the surface we call T cell antigen receptors. Akshay, you have to refer the earlier part which I have already said. Who is having MHC1, who is having MHC2? Don't ask such questions when you are sleeping earlier. Refer the earlier snapshots, you will identify everything I have explained. Okay, so every helper T cell will have certain protein. Remember, receptors are nothing but a type of proteins itself. So they are having some specialized proteins on the surface. Each helper T cell will have a unique antigen receptor on the surface. So I will say a unique T cell antigen receptor. It is said that our body is having 3.5 into 10 to the power 6 types of T helper cells. And for that, we are having certain gene, students. Now you may say, sir, so many genes are there. No, we are having only one gene, but it has undergone mutations and it has prepared so many cistrons that it will prepare these all the different types of T helper cell. So in every one of us, whether you, whether me, whether an African, American, Australian, any person, it may be a girl or a boy or anyone, in everyone, there are those many types of T helper cell, and each T helper cell will have a unique structure on the surface, unique structure. So based on this T cell antigen receptor, T helper cells are these many types. In MBBS, you will be learning this. But now remember concept. What is the concept? Every such particular T cell antigen receptor is made up of two polypeptide, alpha chain, beta chain. And this is a constant region which is embedded in the cell membrane. Can you see cell membrane? And there is a variable region which has been there. This is variable region who is having some unique design. Can you see? And this is the same design by which we say they are of so many types. So a human being in his life will come in contact with how many pathogens, students? How many pathogens he will get infected? Look at this number, how much big a number it is. 3.5 in 10 to the power 6. How much it becomes, students? It becomes somewhere 3,50,000. Is it? 3.5 into 10 to the power 6. Correct? So those many pathogens, can you feel in our life is going to attack? No. Means why those many T helper cells are prepared? The reason is human being has come to the birth at the last in this world. We are an evolutionary product. We have come by slow modification of earlier organisms. So maybe earlier organisms may be having this number lesser, but human being is having this number higher, because those earlier organisms from millions of years, whenever they have got attacked by different pathogens, they have learned, and those types of cistrons are there in the genes, and those have ready-madely come to the human beings now. So human being, whenever comes to the birth in the body, the thymus will prepare these many different types of T helper cell. This is called maturation of the T cells. So all these T cells has to be ready-madely prepared in our body, and they are stored. Now, every T cell will have a unique design over here. Is it true? Whenever a pathogen will enter inside the body, whenever a pathogen will have on the surface antigen. An antigen will have a unique design which is called epitope. This epitope is having a uniqueness which will fit over here. It will fit over here. So depending on the shape of epitope, these designs are unique. So surely whenever a pathogen will enter in our body, any one of the T helper cell easily will identify this antigen. Any one will surely identify it. P. Rashmi is asking a question, sir. How many pathogens come in contact in the body throughout the life? Can't say. How can we say it? Every person will have a different exposure. We cannot say it. But surely it will not be more than the number which I have been said to you. And this is medically proven. And that is the reason we are having that. Okay. So have you understood, students, what is this diagram actually means by? So in our body, we are having n number of T helper cells, n number of T helper cells. And these T helper cells, each type of T helper cell is having a unique antigen receptor, which is having a unique shape. The time a pathogen comes in the body, if first 2 to 3 days, our second line of defense is unable to kill the pathogen. If first 2 to 3 days, our second line of defense is unable to kill the pathogen, then this pathogen is brought at the secondary lymphoid organ where T helper cells are present, and they will show, sir, this is an antigen of the pathogen. He is troubling us from last 2 to 3 days. He is attacking our body. This message will be given up to the T helper cell. Then T helper cell says, see, we are so many T helper cells. You just do one thing, go to each one of the T helper cells. Don't say, sir, time is taken. Our body works very fast. He will go to each and every T helper cell and he will check it. Who will combine with this particular antigen perfectly? Means say 3.5 into 10 to the power 6. All he will go. Surely any one T helper cell will perfectly combine with that particular antigen of the pathogen. Now, whichever T helper cell will perfectly combine, job is done. Now the further actions will start. What is the further actions? Let's see. Look at this particular diagram, students. In this diagram, I'm showing that process. This is a host cell. Now, host cell means, let's consider this is an antigen presenting cell. Okay, now who are antigen presenting cell? Either it may be dendritic cell or macrophage or a B cell. Let's consider it is a macrophage. A macrophage was performing the job as a cellular barrier in second line of defense also. They tried it 2 to 3 days. They are unable to kill the pathogen. So one of the macrophage, what he did it, he engulfed the pathogen. He phagocytosed the pathogen. See how he's eating the pathogen. This is called phagocytosis. The time he phagocytosed the pathogen, he broke this pathogen into small pieces. These are called antigen fragments. Now, you know, every antigen, every pathogen will have, see, different types of antigens on the surface. This is one antigen, this is second antigen. So a pathogen will have many antigens on the surface. He is also alive now. Now, all those antigens are broken down into the cell of a macrophage. Now, this macrophage endoplasmic reticulum will prepare MHC molecule, and this MHC molecule will be presented on the antigen presenting cell, and on that the antigen fragment is been loaded. Did you understand this left hand side diagram now what it is? So a macrophage, so this particular cell which has been there, I will now call it as antigen presenting cell. Then antigen presenting cell should have which complex, student? MHC2 complexes. So any one of the T helper cells receptor perfectly fits up into this particular structure, and during that time the clamp which is been prepared is surely called CD4, and once this is done, T cells are going to get activated. Got the story how the process will be done? But this will occur after how many days? After 2 to 3 days of infection. After 2 to 3 days of infection, then only this process will start. Now you may say, sir, it should have started on the first day only. Now, do you think about that military should come and stand up in front of our college gate every day? Is it a need? No. 99.9% pathogens are not that dangerous, students. So body says, why I have to waste my energy in preparing such a best defense system for everyday process? Let other particular team is there who will take that in charge. Are you getting it up? So if there is a need, then only this third line of defense has to get activated, else not. Correct? It's a prestigious defense system. It should be used only when required. It's not for a day-to-day processes. Hope you are getting this concept, students, how the things are been working up. Can I move further? Sure. Now, look at this particular diagram, students. I'm going slowly the steps ahead. This is the antigen presenting cell. See, he has taken one bacteria. Let's take a pathogen is now a bacteria. This antigen presenting cell has engulfed and different types of antigens are being prepared into the antigen presenting cell. Now MHC2 molecule has been presenting an antigen on the surface. Look at the arrows, whichever I'll be showing. The time it is there, any one of the T helper cell among so many different types of T helper cell, surely any one of the T helper cell perfectly by its receptor will identify that antigen. Then CD4 clamp will hold the MHC molecule and the structure is perfect. Now what happened? Once this process will happen, please listen, antigen presenting cell now will produce a chemical called cytokine. Look at the arrow which I am showing. The antigen presenting cell, once the CD4 clamp has done, will produce a chemical called cytokine. And this cytokine will activate the T helper cell, saying that, sir, your identification is completed. So I will say that you have got correct information. This is the meaning of positive feedback. The time the helper T cell understand, okay, so whatever I have identified, this only is the way pathogen looks up. This is the only antigen on his surface. Then he says, okay, then I am triggered, I am activated. Now I will do my job. You do not worry. Means the job of antigen presenting cell is completed. Because what is your job? Present the antigen to the T helper cell. Hence is called antigen presenting cell. So who will present antigen to the T helper cell? He is called antigen presenting cell. Now the T helper cell, any one of the T helper cell has got this perfection, because any one of the T helper cell only can identify this now. Now whichever T helper cell has got identified this language, he will now activate cytotoxic T cell and also will activate the plasma B cells, so that cell mediated immunity and humoral mediated immunity should be triggered. Got the story? Slowly I am carrying up about with the help of a diagram, so that every concept should be understood by you. Now, whenever the T helper cell has activated cytotoxic T cell, look up, he has activated cytotoxic T cells. Yesterday I have said to you that T helper cells, whenever get the information, now will activate cytotoxic T cell and plasma B cells also. Let's stick to cytotoxic T cell. If the cytotoxic T cell has got activated, every cytotoxic T cell will have the same particular T cell receptor which helper T cell has given to him. Look, the earlier diagram, whichever we have been discussed. What we have discussed in earlier diagram, was this particular TCR of helper T cell perfectly identifying the antigens or not? Perfectly identifying, na? The same information this T helper cell will give to the cytotoxic T cell, and it will also have now same receptor on the surface. Did you identify? Whichever helper T cell has got activated, he will activate a T cell to say that you develop same antigen on the surface, same antigen you prepare on the surface. Because then only you can identify the antigen, na? Same receptor you should have it. Got it? So the time same particular structure is present on surface, this cytotoxic T cell, which is having the same T cell receptor, will go into the body everywhere. Everywhere he will go in the body along with the blood. He has to search now. Cytotoxic T cell has to search where is the pathogen. Now tell me, student, what I said yesterday, cytotoxic T cell will make cell mediated immunity. Means any pathogen which is present inside the cell, intracellular pathogen, like virus is attacking the cell. Otherwise, if it is a cancer cell or if it is any tissue which is grafted, means organ transplanted structures, if are there in the body, cytotoxic T cell will identify them. How? Whichever in the body, apart from APC cells, apart from APC means, you know, all our body cells will have one type of MHC molecules called MHC1 molecule, correct na? Whichever cell has got the pathogens, only that cell is having class MHC molecule 1, and it will also have same antigen what antigen presenting cell has given information to the site, to the T helper cell. Same information T helper cell has given to cytotoxic T cell. So cytotoxic T cell is searching who is having that antigen on MHC1 molecule, and see in this diagram perfectly that understanding has developed. The time that cytotoxic T cell identified that MHC1 molecule having the antigen, cluster determinant 8 will combine. You know, for class 1 MHC molecule, CD8 has to be done a clamp. Once the clamp is done, now this T cell and this targeted cell, who is targeted cell? Inside whom pathogens are there. Inside this target cell, pathogens are there. Intracellular pathogen. Na? So now this T helper cell will produce certain chemical called as lysins. This lysine says to the target cell, see, you cannot survive now because you are infected with the pathogen. You have to spare your life now. You have to get killed. Because if I say that I will kill only the pathogen, then pathogen may escape. So what I will do is I will kill you. And when I will kill you, along with you, pathogen also will die. One has to give the life. Then only the entire body can survive. And for this, the cell will get accepted. It has to get accepted because they are working like a team activity. So lysine chemicals will make a hole into the targeted cell, and due to which, can you see, the targeted cell undergoes a death. And along with that, pathogens also gets killed. Hence, we call him as cytotoxic. Means the cell will produce certain toxins which will kill the cells, whichever have got the pathogens inside. Not only intracellular pathogenic cells, but even cancer cells will be killed. And in the same way, if this cell is come up as an organ transplanted cell, then this cell itself is the pathogen. It will also get up killed. Hence, whenever organ transplantation is done, that organ will be destroyed by the patient's cytotoxic T cell because it will identify him as a foreign substance. Once they will kill them, then whatever cytotoxic T cells will remain, whatever released cytotoxic T cells are there, those will now become memory cells, memory T cells. Got the understanding? Is this story very clear? You may be saying same, he is saying it. No, I'm going up about in slope steps. Okay. Now, whatever these chemicals are released to make the holes, those were the perforins and Gran enzymes. These are the chemicals which will make these holes to kill up the cells. So do not ask what is that perforin and Gran enzyme. Perforin is which makes the pore, and Gran enzymes are enzymes which will enter inside and kill the pathogen into small pieces. So that pathogen is no more. So specifically, they have killed it. Okay. Now, B cells. Whatever B cells are there in our body, they are also having some B cell antigen receptor. Can you recall, student, T cells, helper T cells were having the antigen receptor, which were made up of two polypeptide alpha and beta. But here, a B cell antigen receptor is nothing but an antibody only. Like T helper cells were 3.5 into 10 to the power 6 types. Same B cell also will be 3.5 into 10 to the power 6 types. So whatever T helper cells have got identified the antigen, same way this antibodies presented on the surface of B cell will also have unique antigen binding site, whose structure we have already learned it earlier. Who are preparing antibodies? B cells only, na? So first, this particular antibodies are presented on the surface of B cells. So how many B cells, how many types of B cells are there in our body then? We are having once again same number of B cells, how many T helper cells we are having in our body, because same genes are preparing up about that. But only difference is in T helper cell, 2 polypeptides were making it, but here it is made by 4 polypeptides because it's an antibody-like structure. Now, what is that? Please look at the diagram. What I have shown in the diagram now. In this diagram, I have shown, see, there are so many different types of T helper cells, or sorry, so many different types of B cells which have been prepared. Can you see? Each one is having a unique design. So every B cell will have a different antigen receptor. Now, look at, but among all the types of B cells which are been there, how many? These many were there. Any one B cell perfectly got up identified by the antigen. Because antigens will have epitope. Epitope will fit on this design called paratope, variable region of antibody, and this is attached to the B cell. So among all the type of B cells, any one B cell will identify the antigen perfectly. Once they will identify any one perfectly, now what? Now what means? Already helper T cell has got the same information. This helper T cell had activated cytotoxic T cell also now. At the same time, he will also activate the B cells. Which B cell? The same B cell which has already earlier identified that yes, I also know how the antigen looks like. But even though B cell has identified the antigen, he can't go and kill the pathogen unless and until helper T cell does not say him. You know, in the military also, if a soldier has got angry, he cannot himself go and kill the terrorist. No, it is to become in the order. Order has to come from the higher particular officials that the step has to be taken. It's a discipline. So same way, plasma B cell also has got identified the antigen. See, he's holding the pathogen. This is the pathogen. So he has identified his antigen. But the time helper T cell will come and attach to the MHC2 molecule, you know, B cells also will have, is called APC, correct? So he will also have MHC2 molecule. The time attachment happen, helper T cell will produce cytokines and sage to the B cell. Perfect. Whatever information I shared, you have also got the same information. Now your job is easy. You now become plasma B cell. Prepare every second 2000 molecules of antibodies like this. Let these antibodies you release into the blood vessels. One plasma B cell is not there. Clones of plasma B cell, large number of same B cells will be prepared. Like cytotoxic T cells, same types were prepared. Like that, plasma B cells also same types are prepared. Each one will prepare trillions of antibodies. Antibodies will flow in the blood and will attack on extracellular pathogens. Can you recall? Humoral mediated immunity is because of antibodies, and they will attack on pathogens circulating in the body fluids, extracellular pathogens. It may be toxin or it may be real virus or a bacteria, whatever. They will attach on that pathogen and they will nullify them. Once the pathogens are being killed by the antibody, then some will become memory cells which are stored in the body for the future use, because they are knowing that how they have identified the pathogen uniquely. So they are given the award and they said, you stay there. In the next time when same pathogen comes, it's your job. Suddenly become plasma B cell, prepare antibodies, kill the pathogen. Got it? Got the story, students? No difficulties, no problems? Hope concepts you have got how the working of our defense system is happening. It's an adaptive immunity, how it is working. Are you all there? Chalo. See, this is the photograph to show you an example when trillions of antibodies are released, the pathogen is there in the cell, how the antibodies are attacking the cell infected with the pathogen or the pathogen circulating. And so many antibodies, if they attack, surely the pathogen will undergo a death. Because these antibodies are like key, which fits up into the pathogen and they will kill them. How they kill them? Look at this diagram. Don't leave the class. Main concepts itself, you will get failed. Already about now, almost about 30-40 students have left the class. I don't understand this. Main part, when it runs, they will be moving away. Remember, in coming days, recorded classes will not be given to you every day. It's now only flood situation. So anytime we can stop sending these videos. So tell your friends need not move away. How the antibodies will kill the pathogen. The first type. What is the first type? The first type is called viral neutralization. What is that? If suppose it is a virus and moving into the blood, moving into the body fluids, then it is having a unique antigen. This colored structure is an antigen on the virus. Then antibodies have identified those antigens and they will surround on the pathogen in this manner. When they will surround, automatically the area will become larger because antibodies are holding the virus. Now virus is unable to move, means virus cannot infect a new cell. Because here a structure has become larger of many antibodies, automatically macrophages will come and they are going to kill them. Like in the case here, one more type. Suppose if it is a bacterium and an antibody has attached to its antigen perfectly, then this bacteria is unable to move. So this particular process will activate any one of the phagocytosis cell like macrophage. Macrophage will come and eat this bacteria along with antibodies. Don't say that an antibodies are destroyed now. Let it be now. Each B cell was preparing trillions of antibodies, and in our body for a particular infection time, millions of B cells are prepared. You know, B cells, there is no limit in our body. Every day it can be prepared. So let it be. It will kill along with antibodies. But by that pathogen is killed. That is more important for our body. This phenomena of eating the pathogen and killing it is called opsonization. But if just antibodies are loaded on the surface and not allowing virus to infect the cell anymore, it means that virus will lose its life. And it's called neutralization. Are you getting it? So based on the pathogen, the action will be different. If it is a virus, neutralization you do. If it is a bacteria, fungus, like structure, opsonization will be done. Sometime the pathogen will be larger. Sometime the pathogen will be larger. Imagine maybe some platyhelminth, askelminth is present in our body. It is a larger, na? Otherwise, a protozoan, which is a larger cell, like entamoeba, histolytica, and other. If larger pathogens are there, then they will have certain receptors on the surface, which is called antigen. Whatever square I'm drawing, those are antigen. So look, antibodies which are prepared will come and attach there. Now these antibodies are so small, they can't do any damage to this pathogen or the foreign cell. They can't damage it. So these antibodies will call some special proteins called complement system. Can you recall 2 days back I had said you, this complement is nothing but a combination of 30 different proteins. So this is the combination of 30 different proteins which will come and attach to these antibodies. And now one by one protein will attach to the pathogen cell membrane. So as the time goes, all the 30 proteins will attach on the cell membrane of the pathogen and will make a small holes on the surface of pathogen. So what? Due to which from our blood, water and ions will enter inside the pathogen. If ions and water will enter inside the pathogen cell will go on swelling. It's something like adding the water in the balloon. Balloon goes on swelling and swelling, burst up into pieces. If it burst, pathogen has destroyed like anything. It's something like when bomb has been added in his body and exploded him. Automatically he will die. Are you understanding how antibodies will kill up the pathogen? So they are having different mechanisms depending on the type of pathogen present in our body. Okay. Hope you have got the concepts very, very clearly how the things have been working. Going further. Now, summarization of whatever we have been learned, and that not summary student, but here I'm going to teach you the main aspect what is written in NCERT. So be with me. Look up here now, very perfectly look up. Whenever pathogen enters in the body for the first time, I will call first exposure. Then first 2 to 3 days, second line of defense has tried maximum to kill pathogen, but they were helpless. So now one of the macrophage will behave like antigen presenting cell. You know how he does this? He will eat one pathogen, he will break him into pieces and antigens are there. He will present the antigen. And by that, he will stimulate the T helper cell. You know, we are having so many different types of T helper cell. Any one T helper cell perfectly can identify that antigen. Once it identifies, it will stimulate cytotoxic T cell as well as it will stimulate the B cells. Cytotoxic T cells will go and kill the pathogen and also will keep the memory. Similarly, plasma B cell also will prepare the antibodies and will also keep the memory so that pathogens have been destroyed. This is on the first exposure. But now what? Suppose in the future, if the same pathogen, same pathogen means same antigen, if it again comes up in the body, then memory cells suddenly will activate once again memory cells will get activated and this memory cells will become again cytotoxic T cell and also will become plasma B cell. Again they will prepare antibodies, kill the pathogen, and cytotoxic T cell again will kill that pathogen, intracellular pathogen, cancer cell or that graft. Don't say only second time or what. Array no, let third time come. Same process happens. Fourth time, fifth time, sixth time, any number of times let it come. It will behave like a second exposure only. Yes, Manjunath. Second time we don't require macrophages. Once memory cells are prepared now, job is over. Memory cells will identify that pathogen perfectly. So time is required to develop the third line of defense only when the pathogen attacks for the first time in your body. But when second time it attacks, there is no second line of defense. Second line of defense will say that, array, this pathogen, we know it. Let's give this information to that memory cells. Memory cell says, I know him, he had come that particular time, I know how I have killed it, you don't worry, I will prepare cytotoxic T cells or plasma B cell, I will kill, you don't worry. Hence, when second time same pathogen attacks, body will destroy it within no time and you will never identify it also. What is vaccine working, students? You know, students, what is vaccine? Vaccine means it is like a first exposure where pathogens, only antigens are added, not pathogen is added. And that antigens are identified by macrophage and helper T cell. They will kill the vaccine now. Okay, let the vaccine get killed, because what was vaccine? Real antigen or pathogen only. But what was our idea? Prepare memory cells. Done, khatam, vaccine job is over. Memory cells are there. Now, who is the second exposure? Second exposure is a real virus or a real pathogen. Because we have trained our body to prepare memory cells. Now, the time we have real pathogen comes, that real pathogen entry is like a second exposure. Suddenly, memory cell says, I know him. He will prepare cytotoxic T cell, plasma B cell, and kill the pathogen. So, vaccines will work like a first exposure. It will give a training so that body should prepare memory cells to kill the real antigen pathogen. Got it? So whether you have got the particular pathogen directly or whether you have got in the form of vaccine, first exposures have prepared the memory cells. Okay, here Priya is having a question. So it is the same concept what is linked with erythroblastosis fetalis? Yes. First child blood was not in contact with the mother. Mother was negative blood group and child was positive blood group. During the delivery time, the child's blood got mixed with the mother's blood. That was called as a first exposure. And now in the mother's blood, memory cells are there. So if the second child is also a positive, surely, then suddenly memory cells will prepare antibodies. Antibodies will cross placenta, kill up that second child. That's called erythroblastosis fetalis. Everything concept is same. Take the photographs. Let's move further. Now the main part. In your textbook, this concept is given. Primary response and secondary response. With this, we'll be completing our class today. Okay. What is that? Primary response is the response produced by the body when it encounters the pathogen for the first time. And you know, when first time it will occur, it is of very slow intensity, slower, low intensity, and that much it is not powerful. Look at the graph. I have set up antibody concentration here. And time and days I have taken up. When first exposure happened, first exposure of that antigen happened, antibodies were prepared in small quantity. And as the days progresses, the antibody concentration decreases. Antibodies will decrease by almost about some days. Can you recall, students? Nowadays, they are saying that coronavirus vaccine, if you take, it is nothing like first exposure only, so that you are given a training. Then antibodies are prepared. That antibody concentration decreases in 1 month. But in your body, memory cells are. Now, after 14th day, can you see this? 14th day maximum antibodies. Means on 14th day, memory cells are developed. Let the antibody decrease now, students. 14 days are completed now. After that, antibodies are decreasing. So what the government is saying, take the second dose after 1 month. Nowadays, they have said 3 months, but you know, earlier they have said 1 month because it is because of this. If they give second vaccine, then second vaccine is exposure to the same antigen again. Then suddenly immune response, you see how much it is faster. This is called secondary response or ananestic response. It is a rapid response of the body against the same pathogen if it comes in the body for the second time. The secondary response is highly intensified and faster as our body has got memory of the first encounter. And can you see, if this happened, then antibody remains always higher in your body. Hence they say take 2 vaccine doses, so that we are giving first time vaccine like exposure A, second time vaccine like exposure 2. And they say first if you take Covishield, then you take second also Covishield. If first you take Covaxin, then second also should be Covaxin. Why? Because every vaccine will have a unique antigen. So same vaccine has to be taken both the times. If you say, sir, first time Covishield, second time Covaxin, then second Covaxin is like an antigen B, na? Then body will identify it like a new one. Then again, same story continues. So same vaccine has to be taken twice. But why twice? So that in your body, the antibodies will remain in a large concentration. And memory cell, don't say it will decrease or what. Memory cell, again in the second exposure, again more memory cells are prepared. Now at this time, let after the 2 dosages, let your body get exposed with a real pathogen. Surely your body will kill that pathogen within no time. Did you understand? So the second vaccine dose is called booster dosages because it is boosting your defense system. So whenever pathogen comes in our body for the first time, the attack on that pathogen is slower, but they will kill it. But second time, if the same pathogen comes up, because of memory cell, very fast it will be killed up, and a higher response our body is going to give it. So that pathogen cannot survive at any cost. This is called secondary response. So second response is highly advanced. Okay. Any doubts in the class, whatever I have discussed it today? Hope by this you got an idea what is vaccines working also and others. So what is vaccine? Vaccine means any piece of the pathogen. That piece is called antigen. That antigens are added in the person's body so that the primary response should get activated. Because of this exposure, memory cells will be prepared. So the main concept behind a vaccine is prepare memory cells earlier. If memory cells are there, then when the real pathogen enters, memory cells will activate like a secondary response and kills the pathogen within no time. If third time pathogen comes, it is a geometric progression. Can you see second exposure has made more antibodies now? So if the third time, if the pathogen comes, then again it will be killed with a higher capacity. It moves in geometric progression. Means same pathogen, if it goes on attacking the person more and more number of times, then your body will become more and more stronger on that. Hence, later after many years, that pathogen may be dangerous to a person who has never got that pathogen, but it is never going to be dangerous to you because your body has learned this pathogen the well. Hence, I call adaptive immunity or learned defense system, which you never got right from the birth. It has to learn it when it comes in contact with pathogen. Got the meaning of this type? And it is very specific, so we call specific body defense. Hope today's class you have enjoyed it to the best. This type of explanations will not get it anywhere. Okay, so with this we can stop our today's class. Please read the things properly. Yes, you have to take the vaccine twice for corona because you know now why you should take up twice, because secondary response you should activate. Then more antibodies your body will have, more memory cells it will have. So let after second dose, let that pathogen comes in your body. Your body says, I know that, I know how to kill it. Khatam. You are protected. Hence they say taking vaccine is good, so that you are trained, your body is trained to kill the pathogen. With this particular classes, hope you have enjoyed it up. Look at the things properly, okay? And have up your practices with the assignments, solve the classes, okay? Share this particular things with your friends so that they should get an advantage of understanding this till the last. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.